One of the biggest cons carried out by the Kenyan political class is this thing they call benchmarking, right? Benchmarking is where they decide we are going to go to another country, we are going to learn and study its system, then we are going to come and to Kenya and implement it. This is not just a Kenyan problem, it's an African problem. We just think we can go copy paste another country's system, bring it here, and apply it. Now, if you decide to do what the Chinese do here, right, the government officials are sent to the villages where they work. The same way yesterday on the issue of counties, we said counties, of course, county governments are just theft spots. Like, it's the cheapest way to steal from Kenyans. So far, we have spent $4 trillion shillings going into counties, but we have nothing for it. Of course, we have something for it. We have increased poverty. We have disenfranchised water, education, urban planning systems. We have broken healthcare systems that are getting worse with every day. We have now exposure to more brokers in mining, in agriculture. They have been captured. So Kenyans, even who are doing what we call the informal sector, have been totally deprived of these services. And to make matters worse, the deals that have been structured, what you call investors and foreign and PPPs have mainly been done with a back door, where the county officials, the governors, and their people are the actual shareholders, which means this thing is a white elephant that will never get done. So that's where we are at. So what I like about this comment is, Tandile's comment, is that if we are able to say this is what the Chinese people do, which they do, we need also to be able to understand the system. Because remember, it's a party system. It's not something you just decide to do and send people to go to the village and start promoting, doing the work that they're supposed to do, learning mass line. Remember, the goal, there's usually like a goal, right? You go to the village, to the rural areas, to the townships, to learn practical governance experience, so that your governance experience is not from the boardroom. Kenya, the politicians we elect come from 3 categories. Number 1, the first category is inheritance. You inherit because your father was a politician. You too are expected to be in politics because they've stolen enough to give you power to campaign. And so that is the family business. So inheritance. The Kenyatta, the Ogingas, the Mudavadis, such and such and such. In every area, you have one that has an inherited seat. Which means, first of all, any such leader will never give you practical governance experience because they have never learned. Mainly what their parents did to earn them this spot is what got them there. So in other words, if that's your leader, you're fucked. Number 2, the other one is the ones who are business people who have made enough, mainly from contracts and subcontracts, and because of their friends in politics, they get there. And once they do, then now they are there to make sure they enrich themselves. The ones who have come from that track are not there to do governance. They are there now to do the real deals, to be the ones to do the real deals and enrich themselves. That is where you'd get your Sonkos and the other people. We have a lot of that. They barely have an education. They barely have any understanding, but because they've been so successful, Jenga Karumes, right? They've been so successful from their deals, which, remember, were mainly subcontracted deals or whatever kind of deals they were doing, that we equate money to governance. We are fucked. The third category is from former government or corporate managers and CEOs and the like. So government in like former PS, they have stolen enough money from Kenyans that now they can fund a campaign. Or somebody like, say, we had this one, huyu Kakabaloko, hapa Alfred Mutua Wakamba, jana niliona mnamuonyesha place yake, very well done. So you have somebody like that who was a government spokesman. Apparently, they are able to fund their whatever for governorship. And so you get that. Then you get CEOs and or general managers of large corporations that somehow end up being in trouble. So we are governed by incompetent people, but because they have money, we equate that to success. Some political people may not inherit the seats, but they inherited their political they sharpened their political teeth through either activism or campus politics. Like they were young, from the early age, they were groomed into politics. That is why you get your Babu Winos and the William Rutos. So depending on who groomed them, then you can tell what kind of people they are and what kind of leadership they'll bring. But they've never done governance. Sure, they may have degrees, and they really, now those ones make a lot of effort because they understand that they will say, I was not just a political bystander, but I was also like a player, but I have learned and I've educated myself. And they really have fancy ways. Remember, Kina PLOs, we have fancy ways of articulation. And they find a niche and then they stick to that. And then they build a brand around it. Because they started from such an early age, they know how to build charisma, to manufacture it. Until when they talk to you, you are blinded from reality. So, influencers. That's how we get our political leaders. Now, if you are then to take this system, remember this system comes from party school credentials, tenure. You are elected. You are not elected. You are selected to join the party school for ideological and administrative training, which means all those people would, first of all, before they get into politics, have to undergo training, and then they have to be to qualify through metrics. And those metrics are not enough. There is an annual test every year. They were not here where we do 5 years. Every year before they get into real politics. So they are required to do the work to be promoted. The work includes going to the villages and then also solving a problem. So we have, right now we have mangoes. MCS, whatever, Ukambani, Moranga, I think Meru, everywhere there are mangoes. All those MCAs right now would be at the village, making sure that in the next 1 month, not a single mango goes to waste. And they would do that by opening markets globally. Kazi yao ni to make sure we have licenses and there are no brokers. Remember, I told you, your work is to create cottage industries. If you are county governments, that is why devolution happened, so that we could start industrialization from the ground up, because sisi tunajua economy yetu. So they work together, and then the governors among each other are working to make sure the deal maybe is strong enough, there is bigger aggregation, and so you are able to attract large-scale off-takers as buyers, so that you can say in 2027, the 2026 season, 2027, we will have created a factory or 2 or 3 for processing mango, for dealing with pulp, and also for drying, right? And the other thing that you can do is leather. Leather from mangoes. Plant leather. It doesn't have to come from animals. Ya viatu mzuri kwanza ya insole. So you are wearing sustainable, no plastic clothing. That is how you'd resolve that. So they will be in the village. They will never even appear in county assembly before they. Because right now we're going to Christmas. By the time they return in January or February, they have that resolution. Where mangoes will go, where avocado will go, where macadamia will go. What is the other thing that is going to be ready? Coffee. Remember, those are the things that now we are getting into, and of course the maize and beans and everything else. But maize and beans is only Ukambani. So yeah, you resolve that. You say we don't need maize and beans. Hiyo sasa peleka to your granary. Next time panda ndengu. Na hizo tutatafutia market. That's also the other way you help. You resolve a problem. By making sure people are not doing the wrong thing simply because they are used to it, but you provide a solution for the right thing so that people can take that path. It's like diverting a river to stop going in the bad place. Sometimes that's what you do, because sometimes the river just follows the force and of gravity and other elements of nature, and where there is least resistance. So this is a very good thing, but it must be within a system and a structure. But more so, there must be national planning in even what these people are going to be doing. What is the outcome? And if they don't deliver, wanarudi. Sasa hawa angekuwa kwa TV wanauza maembe, wanatafuta nini, wanasema niko na 200 metric tons. We are kona ngapi? Globally, kila mtu anajua, and they come and our mangoes are commodified. That's it. Simple work. But they don't work. And if they did that, Kenyans would have money, and then we would, because we have equated money to leadership, they think we'll take their leadership. We are busy planting mangoes and walking and working and doing our work. Small, we work from such scarcity. And that's our problem, but also that's our system, and our society is structured to be ineffective.